And you spend like 3 minutes singing.
To be fair, I was trying to get my bottle open, so
That's fair.
and it won't open. There we go.
There it is. Hey,
you gonna spill it all over yourself again?
No, it's not carbonated.
Oh, okay.
That's good, I guess.
All right, I'm ready.
It's good because
That's good because we've been recording.
That tracks. Hell, son, what? Brothers, sister, gender resistors. Sorry, that 38 seconds you just heard. But I, of course, am here to introduce to you one of many podcasts on planet God dang Earth, where we review anything and everything that's on Joy's stupid arbitrary list of comic book related paraphernalias. This is Rundown Reviews, brought to you by the Comic Book Ron. Of course, as the man that did this introduction, I am the big hooch himself, your main baddie booty. No, hoochie daddy. My apologies. Hoochie. See, I should learn my own moniker at this point. Chuck.
Well, that's what happens when you change your moniker all the time, man.
It's important to reinvent yourself every 6 months. That's what they say.
Oh, you've been taking one of those
7 days.
Yeah, I'm trying to become an alpha. Okay.
Yeah.
The trick is you reinvent yourself every 6 months, so nobody actually figures out who you are. So you can constantly just commit insurance fraud and identity theft. Shout out to the CEO, editor-in-chief of PCN. Anyway, why are we? I, of course, am joined once again by the editor-in-chief, supreme ruler and reptilian overlord of the professional of the Comic Book Rundown, not the Professional Casual Network. That's a different show.
Nope.
Joe's here, and Ron.
Hey, everybody.
What's cracking? Up? How's it going? I feel like we don't do just like, hey, how you doings anymore.
Well, we do.
Okay, so we watched a movie.
Record.
Because it's WrestleMania. So
yeah,
at time of recording,
Jesus Christ.
Oh shit!
Okay, straight up, real quick, straight up. I'm very loud in my ears. I had to be around a bunch of catty ass white bitches today because my mom needed to go to what the fuck is a baby sprinkling, by the way?
A baby what?
A baby sprinkle. Instead of like a shower, it's a sprinkle.
I think that's when the dude shoots the load on your face, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I mean, the audacity of expecting mothers trying to get 3 different parties out of a pregnancy is absurd, in my opinion.
Well, see, that's because in this economy, you have to have everybody else buy everything for you, or you just can't afford to have the kid.
Well, I say that,
and you can't put it down anymore.
You've got obviously her family who doesn't like the baby daddy side. So you got 2 separate parties there. And then you've got the work group. That'd be a party. I don't know.
Listen, I went to and then the guys throw a diaper party. So it's a diaper party, a baby sprinkling, a baby shower. And then you got to do something for like when they have the baby, like the homecoming. It's absurd. Anyway, we watched Dick Tracy. Speaking of penises, we watched Dick Tracy.
Yeah, from 1990.
Not gonna lie, guys, I was actually surprised with how good this movie was.
Same.
Holy shit, this is a fucking good movie.
Yes.
Like, I was blown away. This is Yellow Batman. This is Yellow Batman, though, right? We can all agree that this is Yellow Batman.
Well, I mean, the opening credits is Danny Elfman. Like the whole music score is Danny Elfman, and it's
which is fantastic.
Just wants to be Batman. So many times was I watch this movie and be like, he just wants to be Batman. He's jumping from rooftop to rooftop.
I don't think he does want to be Batman, though.
The music.
I think it's the other way around. I think Batman wants to be Dick Tracy.
There you go.
You are correct. Dick Tracy was first. Dick Tracy came out originally came out in 1931. And I would not be surprised if Bill Finger and Bob Kane took Dick Tracy as some inspiration when they made Batman. Because Batman came out in 1940.
It feels like it.
I mean, yeah. But
Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead.
Okay, so I remember watching this movie as a kid. Okay, I don't really remember
That's what
watching the movie.
I was going to ask if you guys have seen this movie before.
Yeah, I remember like bits and pieces of it from when I was a kid. But as a kid, I don't really think I actually appreciated the movie as much as I did watching it as an adult.
Same.
And like, because Simon and I sat down to watch it, and I'm like, oh great, here we go. Here's another movie. It's probably going to be some mediocre piece of shit or something, and it just ended up being good.
Dude, I had maybe 10 notes because I was actually watching the movie and enjoying it.
Yeah, I had to actually go back through the bingo list afterwards and try to remember what was in it because I couldn't remember because I didn't take notes during the.
You were watching the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
So Chuck, I'm assuming you've seen this before?
I have only seen maybe 2 scenes from this when I was really like much younger. I would have been like 13-ish, somewhere around there. This was of the adults that I hung out with that I was probably shouldn't have been hanging out with at the age that I was hanging out with. One of them, this was their favorite movie ever.
Okay.
This was like, he was a huge Dick Tracy fan, and like he loved this movie. He had like every version of it on VHS that they released, because there was a couple of different ones. I think they just had different slip covers.
No. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. There was just like different slip covers. I think
he just loved Dick enough to get as much Dick as he could.
I was going to say that
would make a lot of sense.
When the movie came out, there was a novel that came out with it, obviously, like alongside of it. Apparently, and who was it written by? I had it in my notes here. Well, whoever it was written by. The writer wrote 2 different endings to it. One that came out before the movie was released, and then after the movie was released, came out with the movie ending. So there are 2 versions of the novelization of this movie out in public somewhere. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
That's interesting. Quick before, was Dick Tracy only ever like a newspaper comic strip?
I believe,
or like
so.
Whatever it was that he was in. Like he's only ever been a comic strip, right? He's never had his own book.
I mean, if he has in the last like decade or 2, I am unaware. I wouldn't be surprised. But
does that mean you just set the
it's only ever been a news strip?
Like, so does that mean you just set the precedence that we have to watch the Garfield movies now?
I was just gonna say, we got to watch Garfield now, right?
Technically, we also have to watch Popeye.
Oh fuck yeah, I'm down for watching Popeye though.
Yo, I tell my students about the Popeye movie, and they don't think it's real. They don't think
there was a remake in production, or not in production. There's a remake being shopped around. Like they're trying to see if they can get a new one coming like into being made. So
I totally believe that.
So yeah, like after rewatching this, after watching Dick Tracy, and then going through a lot of the IMDb trivia, I'm like, oh yeah, Popeye was a comic strip. We technically need to watch that. You are correct. Technically, Garfield is one we should probably watch.
And all the Charlie Brown movies.
All the Charlie Brown. So the Charlie Brown ones are going to be a little rough. We'll figure those ones out. We'll see about that one.
Well, those are miniseries.
Yeah, because they're like 45 minutes.
We don't do those. We don't do
that.
No,
I guess that's fair.
No. I didn't say we don't do miniseries. We've done TV pilots like that were supposed to be movies, or TV pilot movies that were supposed to be introducing into a series before. So TV pilot movies. Just saying.
You better not come all into 2 hours. That's all I'm saying, because then they get canceled. So I'm gonna. I went into this being like, dude, I remember like seeing like 2 scenes, and both the scenes that I seen were like when the mobsters were all talking to each other.
Okay.
And remember thinking, this is so freaking boring. This looks boring. This got the Princess Bride trilogy. I watched Princess Bride when I was much older. I watched it during the pandemic for the first time ever, and I'm glad that I got to see it as an adult so I could appreciate all the little tongue-in-cheek nuances of the movie that I would have completely missed as a kid and probably never appreciated the movie as much as I do now.
Okay.
Dick Tracy kind of is the same thing. I'm glad I got to see this as an adult, so I could literally get all the tongue-in-cheek stuff.
Okay.
And
Speaking of tongue-in-cheek, I think Dick Tracy got a little tongue-in-cheek from Madonna there.
Yo, my sexual orientation right now is Madonna from 1990s Dick Tracy movie, apparently. She was smoking hot. Holy
I've
shit.
never found Madonna attractive.
It's been like 90s, especially like early to like maybe mid 90s. Has what's kind of like, okay, I can see the what's going on here, because also she was in A League of Their Own, and I really enjoyed her in that. Nothing sexual.
I'm not saying that she's not hot, but there's just something innately unattractive to me about Madonna, and I don't know what it is.
Is it because like all of her parts now are younger than she is?
It's her teeth. She's got weird teeth.
Well,
I don't.
Her teeth. Ron,
maybe it might be.
So here's the thing. My like first real exposure that I remember of Madonna was like hippie drug, like EDM music-y cowboy version of her from like that one song where like the music video is her in a car, and I don't like that version of her. That is not that is not a version of Madonna I like. When she did Hung Up in that music video, that's like when I fell kind of back in with Madonna, but she was older, right? So I just I appreciated her because she was an older hot woman, which is like an aesthetic that I enjoy. But watching this now where I'm at in my life, for some reason, this version of her was just so smoking hot. And I don't like a Virgin or that other song where they had the burning crosses and nobody ever seems to question that music video. I'll never think of the song now. That's right on the tip of, Like a Prayer. That's the word. There it is. So like that, not really my thing. I liked her again, kind of in League of Her Own, like you did. But I think maybe it's the hair. Maybe it's the hair. I am an attractive hair guy. So maybe that's it. I don't know, but holy smoke. Like I was just like in love with her in this movie. She was just so fucking hot. I felt like Ron. I felt like I was full Ron in this, like during this movie. I was like, yo, I want to see her boobs.
Which we
kind of do.
And
yeah, kind of.
I don't remember. Like I watched this as a kid. I don't remember that scene at all.
I don't think they showed that on TV.
I don't think I watched it on TV. I think I watched my dad. Probably had a VHS.
This was PG too.
This was PG in 1990.
Yeah, look, hey, her tits were covered. Okay,
they were. It was see through.
After 88 was when they stopped showing nudity in PG-13?
Pretty much, yeah.
So what? Red Dawn, and there was another, maybe one of the Indiana Jones movies is what made PG-13 a thing,
right?
And I think it's because I think Red Dawn. Did Red Dawn have some nudity? I don't remember anymore.
No, I just had a lot of violence, I think.
Okay.
That makes sense. Because I remember my friend, we were watching Clash of the Titans, like the original, and I remember,
that one.
Yeah, the old 80s one.
And that's when you had your sexual awakening.
Well, I remember him specifically saying, because the naked girl stands up, and he goes, "Oh, they'll show us the butt, but they won't show us the front." And it was because of that new rolling over that they wouldn't show nudity in unless it was specifically R-rated.
Okay.
Like frontal nudity. They could show butts. Yeah.
Which is still weird, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Okay. So yeah.
Anyway, she's smoking hot. Would have 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 would have committed so many crimes for her. Unreal.
That's what I was gonna say. Allegedly, not allegedly, according to IMDb, Warren Beatty and Madonna were a couple at this time when they were filming this movie. To the point that
God bless
Warren like propose to her, but she said no.
Oh, yeah.
Although
Warren Beatty's not bad looking in this for like Dick Tracy mode.
I guess it's not that she said no. She, according to IMDb, she stalled on the question of marriage. He ended their romance and reclaimed what he had given her was just a friendship ring. Yeah, and that was apparently in 1990.
Attaboy King. Way to cover your ass when you get rejected, you know?
But no, you're right. Like, I don't like. I can't name any Warren Beatty movie off the top of my head outside of Dick Tracy.
Was he in Casablanca?
I don't know.
I don't think so,
know, man. I'm just throwing names. I'm thinking of old movies because Warren Beatty's like 147 years old in this movie.
Yeah, I can easily look it up on IMDb, but like I don't. Nothing.
But like, maybe that's the fact. Maybe like Warren Beatty was a name of the past, right? And this was kind of like one of the last movies. I'm pretty sure.
I don't.
Sounds right.
You know what? Now that you're questioning it, I'll actually have to look it up because I don't think it was one of his last ones.
Yo, if I was right and he was in Casablanca, I get 10 Chuck Bucks. When you reach 1 million Chuck Bucks, you can cash them in for 1 point of my love and affection. I can't wait to cash that in. Yeah.
So that definitely was not his last one, although he didn't really do much after this. Bugsy in 91, Love Affair in 94, Braz featuring Old Dirty Bastard, a music video.
He was in a Wu-Tang song? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, he's down. He's down with the Wu-Tang
in 98. The Book That Wrote Itself in 99, Town and Country in 2001. Then he kind of disappears until 2010 to do a Dick Tracy special, a TV movie. Comes back in 2016 with Rules Don't Apply. Jimmy Returns, the 2018 Oscars is a TV short. And then another Dick Tracy special in 2023. So,
okay.
No, Dick Tracy was his last movie.
Kinda. Well, here's the thing. Apparently, he bought the rights to Dick Tracy, like the film and television rights to Dick Tracy,
which makes sense. I think he direct the movie too.
He directed the movie, but like he bought like just the rights altogether for $3 million in 1985, and he has retained them to this day. So, which explains why he did the 2010 and 2023 Dick Tracy specials, which also means that we're probably never going to get another Dick Tracy movie without Warren Beatty's go ahead.
Hey, but that might not be a bad thing because maybe it'll be as good as this one was. Like, maybe. Okay, so the scenes that they had of the cityscape, like where it was painted, but still had like the live action in it, that was so fucking cool looking.
This entire set design was gorgeous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you can tell that they. What was the budget? Do you have the budget right there by chance?
Let me double check.
Because you can tell that they like everything in this movie looks and feels like it was designed for the movie. You know what I mean? Like it immerses itself and creates an entire like atmosphere and aesthetic and universe that feels uniquely Dick Tracy.
Budget was $46 million, and the box office return in 1990. The box office return was $162.7 million.
Oh, so gangbusters.
It made money. Yeah, so speaking of and I'm trying to find, I wish I would have had these like better laid out, but apparently all of the backgrounds were painted. But when Warren Beatty was telling them to like shoot the landscape, they were like, you need to keep a steady camera. We don't want them to, I guess, realize that it's all painted. So like you don't see a lot of like panorama
movement. Yeah. It's a lot of wide shots.
Yes.
Yeah, which I think also
it worked. Like I really enjoyed that.
It makes it feel like you're watching a comic book. Like cuz it's like you're like it's moving panel to panel. You know what I mean? Like they did a fantastic job. I don't know. I was unbelievably impressed with how this was shot for 1990, and it makes me wonder how did I enjoy this, didn't enjoy Batman?
Because Batman, they tried to do it like dark and gritty, and nothing came out like as far as like the painted backdrops and shit went. Nothing seemed to come out right on that. I don't think.
Did they have painted backdrops in Batman?
I thought so. Like when they had that like super dark part where you can't see anything really. I thought it was painted, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think the difference is like I don't want to say like the gothic aesthetic or something because like
this one also has like that super like super comic feel. Like even the characters' head shapes and shit. Like fucking flat top and like the dude that's got the wrinkly face and like
they modeled literally every single character from the comics. They were able to translate it fair, like almost. I'm not gonna say 1-to-1, but
no, but it was still perfect.
Really, really good. The only
like the dude with the little face and
so the two differences was Littleface apparently had like in the comics had a human-sized head and a tiny little face. So in the movie, what they did, they kind of upped the head a little bit, and they had a kid in the makeup, like that was a child behind the face.
That's really good
to make it look Littleface. And then the other one was Al Pacino's character of Big Boy. In the comic, he apparently is a big, rotund guy. In the movie here, they decided to give him like a big nose, a big chin, like big ears, big hands, and that was really all of Al Pacino's choice. Like he wanted
to be fair, Al Pacino is 5'2", so
yeah, he was going to be big on anything.
Yeah.
Not like
he wasn't going to put weight on for the movie.
Yeah, well, sure, but
this is 1990, right?
Yes.
So this is like
90, yeah.
This is like peak.
Like at Godfather and Scarface.
Yeah, he's like untouchable. Like everything he touches is gold. And he's got Devil's Advocate coming out in like 5 years, something like that.
That was 95 or 96, right?
Yeah, something like that. So like he was slim in that. So
I mean, this movie had a lot of big names in it, though.
It did.
Yeah,
it had a lot. It had
Madonna,
a lot of big names like attached to it behind the scenes too.
Dustin Hoffman was in there. I think Michael Caine was in there. Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke was. Michael Caine wasn't.
Maybe that dude just looked like him then.
What's the actor?
Not Michael Caine. James
Caan. James Caan. Yeah, he was in it.
That's what I meant.
Kathy Bates apparently was in this movie for like a scene.
Yeah, she was the secretary or whatever.
Yeah.
You had Catherine O'Hara in it. Macaulay Culkin's mom in Home Alone.
Yeah.
Speaking of, apparently they wanted Macaulay Culkin to play the kid. That he was asked to be the role of the kid, and he turned it down to do Home Alone instead, which probably a better choice for him.
Yeah, I mean,
man, looking back at it, probably not the best idea, but I mean, Home Alone's a great movie, and it launched him to stardom. It also completely ruined life. Like
I wouldn't say launched, like he had like. Was My Girl before this or after Home
Alone? Before, and so was Uncle Buck.
And then there was also The Good Son was after, I believe.
Yeah, that
we know him for one franchise, and that's Home Alone, and you know it. Well, for Home Alone, he would have just been lost in obscurity. He did a couple of good movies as a kid, and then maybe he had done some other stuff as he got older. Home Alone was a monumental changing, like that was a movie that literally became bigger than the movie.
That yes, it is a Christmas staple for a lot of
Christmas.
People.
It defines a generation, in my opinion.
It does.
Anyway,
that's also John Hughes helping that too. So
right,
which that was just John Hughes
I will say this. I will say this. The thing to the least about this movie was that fucking kid. He was obnoxious as fuck.
What you call it from Hook? The kid from Hook?
Yo,
That's what he was from. I couldn't figure out why I knew that kid's stupid little face.
Yep.
I wanted to
Came out like
just
same year or close
beat
enough.
the bricks off him Brooklyn style with my best friend because I could not stand with the way he was eating, how like obnoxious he was. He always had a dirty face. Like I understand that like Dick Tracy is not a good dad, like he's a non-attentive dad, but like the mom, like the sub-in
Tess?
mom is like
The
right
mother
there.
figure. Yeah. Tess.
I don't know. I just could not stand this kid. And I'm not really like I know he has reason to be in this movie, kind of, but man, they make us work to it.
Well, because
To
the
like make a
character
payoff.
Junior is in the comics. Like he's he was there in the beginning and eventually so this right here, this is my introduction to Dick Tracy. It's this Dick Tracy casebook from 1990-ish.
That's some thick dick you got there, bud.
Very thick dick. It's got a bunch of different stories from the 30s all the way to the 80s. And Junior plays a big role in the majority of this series. I know I thumbing through it today because it's been years since I've read it, so I don't remember all of it. But it says at one point he was kind of a little Orphan Annie-esque, and because no one really cares about orphans anymore back in like the 70s. Still don't, but 70s especially. They aged him up to be like a teenage 20-something kid to kind of give him more relevance. And so that being said, like Junior plays a part in the Dick Tracy lore. In here, I agree he was definitely annoying in the beginning, and he turned out to be fine toward the end, but still kind of annoying in a way, because then he became like a tag along literally every chance he got. Also, he was one of those characters, like one of those kids that, well, I don't say kid, but like he was the character that people overlooked almost purposely, because how often did he ride on the back of a car to go get where he needed to get?
Yeah, I mean, like it's on Endangerment Part 2 really over here with this movie.
It's also allegedly the 1930s.
It would have been the 30s, so that car would have went like 20 tops. And having been thrown out of a car going 35, although it does hurt, you don't really get that much damage.
Dick Tracy is allowing a child to get into crime situations and tamper potentially with evidence.
I mean, he's not really allowing him to do anything.
Look, first off,
he's not stopping him.
The thing that you're not remembering is that Dick Tracy is a cop, therefore he is inherently bad.
Ooh, is there an argument that Dick Tracy is the goodest cop because he breaks? He's like Batman, but he actually is the law this time.
Ooh, which I did laugh when they do say the line, "I am the law," because I'm like, oh, we're like 5 years away from Judge Dredd. And
yeah, I wonder if that was
the law.
I wonder if that is like a little tongue in cheeky of like trying to make fun of Judge Dredd, because I mean Judge Dredd at this point had been out for a long time, and that was like the catchphrase for Judge Dredd.
So I know it's catchphrase for the movie. I don't know if
they were using it in the comic by then.
Were they? The comic,
yeah.
When did the comic come out? That came out.
Well, it's kind of hard to say because it was 2000 AD, and then it had its own run separate. Because I definitely remember there being like a comic cover that came out before the movie, which has like Dredd's face and it says "I am the law."
Okay, so Judge Dredd showed up in 2000 AD, like you said, in 1977. Yeah, first appearance in 1977. So maybe it was.
But they also say you can't handle the truth in this movie.
Did they?
Yeah, I forget when they yell it. Maybe it's when he's being accused of what he didn't do. To like smear his, like when they do the smear campaign with the newspaper and stuff. And I feel like there's a part where he yells, "You can't handle the truth," and I was like, "Oh, Did they take that line from A Few Good Men, or vice versa? Did A Few Good Men take that line from them? I don't know. It was weird.
Okay.
Maybe I'm making that up, but I really remember it being part of the movie. I mean, it's like a one-off. It's like real quick.
Sure.
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Well, and then while all of because that's the scene when, like you said, he got framed for killing the DA, and then we do a montage of all of the bad guys basically going out and being bad guys again. Like I was too busy trying to see how many people get killed in that, which I think only like 1 or 2 got killed in that montage. So.
Oh, one thing I did love about this movie, that was completely impractical and really stupid is the fact that a Tommy gun is unlimited bullets cheat loaded into it, and
Yep.
never jams cheat either.
Right?
Which, like, seriously, Tommy guns jammed all the time. That's why they sucked.
Yeah,
Yep.
but they
And
look
were
good in
typically
mobster
used.
movies.
I was like,
See,
holy shit! There is unlimited ammo running real hard in this movie.
the funny thing is, I have the note. Dick and the unlimited Tommy gun with no jams.
Well, he wasn't the only one. Like
I
at the very
know.
beginning with Flat Top when he's writing the "Eat Lead" Dick or "Eat Lead Tracy," whatever, on the wall, like just unloading.
Yeah, for how he was shooting that, by the way,
no way he wrote that.
No way he wrote that so clean.
But it's fine. It's fine.
But here's the thing: everything that they did like that, I think, really actually works in this movie for the tone that they're trying to set.
It does.
Like
Serious, but not serious.
Yeah, it's like the stuff that they want you to take seriously, it hits every time. The seriousness of Dick Tracy and how he takes his job, and that is the only thing that matters is bringing bad guys to justice, right? That's what he wants to do. So much so that he's willing to just risk all of his other relationships.
Well, not only that, but also like he keeps going after Big Boy. How many times? Like he arrested him 5 different times, and each time Big Boy got off scot-free. Like, little too much police, not brutality, corruption, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't play it enough that there was like potential police corruption. Like they kind of like
they did with the DA,
right?
But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I was just expecting more. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, when they have Mumbles in there, Dustin Hoffman's character, and like he's interviewing him or interrogating him.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's with the can of beans or the can of chili?
Yeah, because that happens a few different times where he's has the chili open and just kind of dipping the spoon in and out of it.
And second off, why the fuck were they drinking water out of a bear's dick?
I got nothing on that.
It had to be comic references that we didn't know.
I guess
that's my only thought.
Possible? Who knows?
It's interesting.
But that just kind of, those are two things I just didn't understand at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
I still liked it. I still liked it though. And then like when they bring the bear back during the interrogation scene, which by the way, interrogation insane. Like they literally are just trying to like sweat him out by putting a light on that's which we've seen in other movies, should have roasted his body practically. Like very confused
why he was
about
sweating a lot and why he took his pants off, I guess. I don't know.
Well, he was too hot. Couldn't take it. But I liked the idea that they had him recorded and they slowed it down, because the whole point is like nobody understands mumbles, right? And then they slowed down to where it was like clear.
Yeah,
like he can talk normal.
That scene, and then the reveal of Breathless Mahoney, Madonna's character, being the villain. Those are the two things I distinctively remember from this movie. And I don't know why. I remember the scene where they got Mumbles confessing, and then Mumbles like, "Hey, wait," like actually like talking in a normal voice. I don't know why I remember those two distinctively. But funny enough, allegedly, we're talking about Dustin Hoffman and Mumbles. Gilbert Godfrey was in the running for Mumbles, and he was very perplexed by that, and that both him and Dustin Hoffman were up for the same role. Because he's just like the only way that our names would appear together in the same Hollywood conversation would be in the sentence, "I've seen Gilbert Gottfried's acting, and it's no Dustin Hoffman."
That's great. Fantastic. The way we did tease last episode that we would talk about the fact that this movie's ending was almost spoiled because of the toys, and how what was it? Breathless Mahoney?
Breathless Mahoney was the blank. The character was called the blank.
Oh, he wasn't called No Face?
That's what I thought. Because I
thought it was No Face too.
In the comics, it actually, or like in here, it actually is called No Face or Multiple Face or something. So no, it's called the blank. That was the character's name.
The blank, they released toys for this run, and they created the figure the blank. What they had released the toys before the movie came out. Now I don't remember if the movie had gotten delayed or what had happened, but the toys had gotten released before the movie came out, and the figure the blank had a removable head.
Mm-hmm.
So it literally would have ruined the entire movie. And the studio panicked and forced the toy company to pull all of those figures that if they ever went out.
Just in the United States.
Just in the United States.
Because according to IMDb, the figure was still available in Canada.
Yep.
And because of that, the blank action figure is highly sought after. Apparently they go for like $1,000 on eBay.
Minimum $1,000 if you can find them. And I don't think that there are any on card at this point, or we're looking at multiple thousands of dollars. Yeah. Which is wild.
But I mean, it's because it was all, taken off the shelves. There's a comic that I've been trying to find. Is
it where Batman hangs dong?
No, I actually have that one already.
Yeah, that makes sense. You would love that.
I got it.
We saw how thick your dick was. So.
I got it before I realized that that was in there. Like I got it because it was Batman Damned. It was a really good story. And then they're like, "Oh, Batwang is in this issue. It's going for like $80 a pop." I'm like, "Oh, I paid $7. Okay, cool." No, it's the 7th issue, the final issue of the series called Ruby. It got pulled because the last issue was getting released during COVID, and they didn't print a ton, so the only place you were able to find it was in the Walmart DC like 4-pack deals years ago. And now people have it and it's selling online for like a couple $100. I'm like, I ain't paying. I just got the trade. I ain't paying $700 or a couple $100 for one issue of something that
no shit
was fine.
Way to be a quitter. Whatever.
Yeah, well, the only reason I got them was because of the cool art on the cool covers.
Yeah, the story actually sucks, but
the story. Look, I mean, I'm not saying it sucked, because it's in between seasons, and so like nothing really happens. Anyway, sorry.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the most you would spend on a comic? To own what's your grail and how much are you willing to spend on it?
I don't really have a grail. That's the thing. Like I've got some like key issues. Like I've got the first appearance of Miles Morales, but I paid cover price for that because I got it when it came out. I think the most expensive comic I purchased was a trade for maybe double the price. Yeah.
Okay.
Which the only reason I did that is because I had some extra money. I'm like, I guess I can. I'll actually, it was just recently, so I was like, it's my dad's money from my dad's inheritance. I'm like, I've got the little extra, like the extra $45. I'll throw this in there. Why not?
Yeah, Ron. Material things don't matter to you.
The most expensive comic I own is like $108. I didn't pay for it. But the most I'm willing to spend on a comic is probably like $10. Because first off, I'm a cheapskate, and second off, I don't need a mint copy of a comic. I just need the storyline out of it. So if I can spend $1 on it and get the story out of it, that's all I need. Like, I'm not doing it to put together a collection to be like, hey, check out my fucking comic wang here. I am doing it because I wanted to know what happened.
Yeah.
So
well, that's why I kind of stopped collecting single issues and just started going to trades.
Yeah, because trades are so much.
And it looks nice on the shelf. Like, I actually just finished organizing the shelf, all my shelves.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, took all week. But like, everything is up there now, and I'm actually converting a lot of trades into hardbacks and omnibuses, all that stuff. So like, I'm getting rid of things and trying to downsize, sort of. Which, by the way, if anybody wants the complete the Walking Dead compendiums, I got all 4. I'll sell them to you for a decent price. If you're listening, hit me up.
There you go. Who are you to argue? You know what I mean? That's fair. Okay.
Anyway, so back to Dick Tracy.
By the way, mine the most expensive.
What's yours?
I don't really collect comics anymore.
Yeah, that's
like I'm a trade paper unless it's Marvel, because I have the Marvel Unlimited app. So I really can't justify even buying trade paper for Marvel. But otherwise, I'm give me it all in $1. I don't want to collect issues anymore. I have issue of Saga, and it was given to me for free. I would probably assume is my most expensive issue that I own.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I've never looked up the price of it. I just know that it goes for a good amount nowadays.
Yeah. Like I said, I've got a few different what are called key issues, but I'm not really like, I bought them fairly like cover price. I've got the first appearance of no, do I have first appearance? No, I've got the first appearance of Teen Titans in their first issue. I've got the first appearance of Nightwing. I've got the first appearance of Jason Todd, and the first appearance of Jason Todd Robin. So like, I've got some good issues that are like, anywhere between $10 to $100, but or with the case of Miles Morales, probably more, because that character has just become popular over the last couple years.
That's true.
But like, I know the Nightwing and Red Hood or Nightwing and Robin. Oh, actually, I did pay $25 for the Jason Todd Red Hood reveal to get that issue, which was like Batman 3 or 635 or something like that.
I mean, 25 is not terrible.
It's not, but
speaking of Dick Tracy,
right, yeah,
the piano player is Inigo Montoya.
He is.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it. I really liked his character too. I like the idea that he was. He was like a little. I don't know. Maybe I didn't.
A little try hard.
Yeah. Well, just like it was like too obvious. It was like too obvious. You know what I mean? Like if I was Big Boy, I would have been very suspicious of him.
Yeah.
Because of like how hard he was going, that I needed to do this deal.
Well, he was just trying to get his piece of that deal,
Well, yeah, because he got he got the 5,000 obviously, and he's getting.
But he would have also been good. Yeah, he would have also been good with Big Boy. So like
he was basically double dipping
instead of just being a piano player making minimum wage minus tips.
Yeah.
So there's a part when Dick Tracy is saving one of his little cop buddies from the cement, right? So first off, is that the dude that's in Tango and Cash that makes all the weird inventions?
Your guess is as good as mine because I don't know who that dude is.
But secondly, why the fuck did Dick Tracy climb into the fucking cement?
That's what I was wondering. Like, you didn't have to. Like, they're already looking the other way. You could have just stood in front of it, my dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, he's a man of the people. You know, he's gonna climb into save you. He, you know, as we all know, shields protect their own. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
you got to jump in to save him. I guess I don't
You
know.
know?
Listen, I don't know, man. I thought it was weird too. It didn't make any sense to me.
But
You're right. He wasn't taking on cash.
Ouch.
Anyway,
what are you talking about? Tango Cash is a great movie as long as you don't pay attention to like plot line or acting.
Is that Tom Hanks and a dog?
No, that's Turner and Hooch, which is a fantastic movie, and fuck you very much for saying anything bad about it.
I literally never seen either of these movies.
But
Tango and Cash is Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Jack Palance and Terry Hatcher. I forgot about that one.
I feel like I should like that movie. I'm a big Kurt Russell guy.
It's not bad.
It's not a bad movie. Like I said, it's just got a terrible plot and some bad acting. But other than that,
it's a 1989 buddy cop movie. So like,
yeah,
it might actually be right up your alley.
Yeah, that does sound like me. All right.
So,
okay. There's one part in this movie where I absolutely 100% related to Big Boy. Okay.
Okay.
He's running back and forth trying to do something, and he's like, "I'm having a thought. It's coming to me. It's gone." Because that happens to me on like a multi-daily basis, and I thought it was fucking hilarious that he just mouthed it out, like he voiced that out loud. Like,
I did laugh every time he would like make a quote and then say who it was by, and pretty damn sure it was not by any of those. But like,
oh yeah, 100%. He was
talking about all that.
Who played Mumbles?
Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the other guy.
We were talking about that.
Yeah, I guess I didn't click those together, but I thought he was. For some reason, I thought he was. Oh, I can't think of his name. All I can think of is he plays Jack Frost in the Santa Claus movie.
Martin Short.
Yeah, I thought it was Martin Short. That's what I thought it was. Which now I realize Dustin Hoffman and Martin Short kind of look the same. That's interesting in my brain.
Do they?
Apparently, because
in Chuck's brain,
confusing the two. It's like a Michael Keaton, Kevin Costner situation.
Yeah, where they don't look anything alike, but you still think they look alike.
Yeah, but I still confuse the two. Yeah. Because the same person in my brain. Yep.
Yeah.
So they don't ever explain in the movie why Dick Tracy has such a hard on for Big Boy, why he's trying to, get him.
Because he's a bad guy.
Well, yes. But apparently in the comic, let's see here, the debut comic strip of Dick Tracy in October of 1931, Tracy is a young college graduate looking to become an attorney. Tess Trueheart is his college sweetheart. One night they go to have dinner with Tess's parents to announce their engagement at their home above Mr. Trueheart's store. The evening is interrupted by hoodlums who rob the store, kill Mr. Trueheart, and kidnap Tess in their getaway. In melodramatic fashion, Tracy swears to bring the killers to justice and joins the police force in order to help track down the thieves and rescue Tess. He succeeds in saving her and killing the thugs. He eventually learns that the thugs work for Big Boy and vows to bring him down in order to fulfill his promise to bring the man responsible for Mr. Trueheart's death to justice. And then, so Big Boy became, Dick Tracy's adversary from the 30s to the 70s, up until Big Boy suffers a heart attack. So, so that, like, they don't explain why, but that's kind of, I guess, the backstory of why he's always trying to get Big Boy Caprice.
I feel like the more we're learning about Dick Tracy, the more Batman is just a ripoff of Dick Tracy. Like, kind of same origin stories. There's orphans involved. He becomes an adult who adopts
Also
a kid
takes orphans, yeah,
as a sidekick.
The
and
original
puts them into dangerous situations.
Regularly dangerous situations.
The original Batman, they did not have, like, he wasn't a orphan that, you know, saw his parents get killed. He was literally just a socialite, billionaire, millionaire who is like, I've got time on my hands and I want to become a crime fighter
with purple gloves and a gun.
Couldn't cut it as a cop, so he became a cop.
Well, he didn't have to because he was
riding along with the cops. So, yeah,
that too. Like he rode along with the cops to these places and then got what information he needs. Like, oh well, I'm gonna go have a whatever in the golf course, and bye, old chum. Talking to Gordon. Like, I just thought you're not wrong on the aspects of Dick Tracy, Batman copying Dick Tracy, but yeah, I just want to.
He's yellow Batman. He's yellow Batman. I'm okay with it. Also, feel like it's
Batman is dark Dick Tracy. So
sure. I also feel like there's parallel between Dick Tracy and Spirit. The Spirit.
So I don't know much about the Spirit. I've never seen the movie. I've never read the comics.
Same.
I just know he's a detective. I saw the movie and I remember thinking I have to force myself to like this because it was a Zack Snyder-ish movie.
No, it wasn't.
It looks like a Zack.
90s.
The Spirit?
I'm pretty sure it wasn't like 97 or 98.
You're thinking the Shadow.
I am thinking the Shadow.
Yeah, because the Spirit was like a 2010s movie, wasn't it, or something like that?
And it was literally shot like Sin
2008. City. That's right. Yeah. Yes. It's
you're thinking the Shadow, which like are very much same, but still very. The Shadow is literally just Ghost Dick Tracy. So, are we watching the Shadow?
It's on the list somewhere.
Okay. Are we watching the Phantom?
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that movie.
I've only ever seen that once, and I don't remember anything about it. And I remember thinking I'm supposed to do this because Rey Mysterio had wrestling gear one time that was based off of that.
Really?
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I remember it being a good movie.
He has a ring that like permanently tattoos people, right, or something like that.
I mean, when they punch them, punch them hard enough. They also made a sequel to that. That was a sci-fi movie, which I don't know if we'll watch because I don't know if it's available anywhere.
I do remember that for whatever reason.
I thought it was a sci-fi like double movie. Like it was 2 nights, so it's like 3 hours long.
Right, so it's like a miniseries kind of put together.
I mean, that's what sci-fi did. Yeah. So
yeah. So it doesn't count.
Hey, that means we don't have to watch it.
Yep, it means we don't have to watch it. Took away 2D. You took away 2D Star Wars from me. Anything else you guys got about this movie?
So apparently, this film went through a lot of very long development with many incarnations, including a musical version in the early 70s with Sonny Bono as Dick Tracy and Cher as Tess Trueheart.
I hope they got him a fucking box to stand on the whole time.
Probably not. So that, and then actually, no, that was my last little bit of IMDb trivia. I also have written down that when Tracy, goes into the warehouse, falls into the warehouse and gets locked in the safe, and then he's got his other guy that jumps down to launch him up. That wouldn't work, right? Like,
correct.
Not okay.
He didn't have a big enough fulcrum for that to work.
Yeah, okay, that's what I think I was thinking. Also, I feel bad for the partner because he just left him there.
Yeah, he never goes back for him.
Nope.
Don't need him.
He served his purpose. He got Tracy out of a tight spot.
Yeah, I do feel like the other, like the I don't know, assistant detectives or whatever they were.
His cronies.
Yeah, like I like how the good guy had cronies too. You know what I mean? Like he's got cronies, the bad guy's got goons. Like I don't know, just but just a bunch of idiots. Like I know that's kind of what they were supposed to be and stuff, but like that shtick got a little old. Because I couldn't figure out if they were doing it on purpose. Like I couldn't figure out if it was leading to like they are just stupid and the payoff is just that they're stupid, or if it was going to be like idiot savant and they were actually going to do something at the end to like wrap up the fact that like they're dumb but they like Scooby-Doo themselves into figuring the thing out.
I would
it didn't really
say
do that.
the closest is they were the ones that picked up Tracy, and it was going to take them a long time to get from the city jail to the county jail.
And I guess that's a payoff. It just kind of landed, but I was expecting more. I was expecting them to also figure it out. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
for them to figure out that like Madonna's character was.
Yeah, Dick Tracy, I guess, figured it out in the back of the car exactly who Breathless was or who the Blank was. But the other guy's just like, yeah, okay, the enemy of my enemy is my enemy. Yeah, good job, Dick. Yeah, you're doing wonderful.
What? I don't know if I really get why she was doing it. Yeah, like I guess because she wanted to like take over. Did she want to take over the crime or stop it? Like that's what I was confused about.
I think she was wanting to take over the crime.
She was wanting to take over the city, yeah. So take over the crime because obviously she wasn't running for mayor or anything.
And then she wanted Dick.
She wanted Dick, yeah.
Too.
She wanted to take over the city, and then she wanted Dick. Yep.
Okay, but she should have known that Dick wasn't gonna go against the Shield.
Well, but she wasn't there when Big Boy bribed him, and then he threw the money back. She was there literally every other time. So, like, she was there when Big Boy was yelling at the DA, so she was able to figure out the DA was in on everything and how to get him whatever. She obviously knew about Tess because she tried to seduce Dick earlier. And she was always in every single meeting Big Boy had, so she knew what was going on.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if like if she was just like manipulating him into just trying to become the bad guy, or if she wanted to like reform. And maybe that's like the whole thing is like we're supposed to not know actually what her plan was.
Yeah, no idea.
Which I don't hate that. I don't hate that I don't actually know if she was trying to be a good person or not. I still would let her just commit so much crime, you know, in my name. So
okay. But no, that's all I got for.
What do you want from me?
I got nothing.
What about a kill count, Joey?
So my kill count, according to IMDb, there was a total of 27 deaths, but because of our Alderaan rule, we got 15.
That's like nothing.
I know, and I did count one cat because at the very beginning when the cat jumps into the guys playing the cards, and one guy just grabs him and throws the cat around. Like, so there is one cat death.
Okay, I don't like it, but I'll allow it.
No, I don't like it either.
I didn't watch the end of the credits. Do they say no animals were harmed?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't watch that part.
No, I always like to make sure, but I didn't this time. I was in a hurry.
That's fair. Ron, what you got for our bingo?
Okay, so we've got comic logic always. We've got some government interference. I put dead parents with a question mark because I'm pretty sure that Dick Tracy killed that kid's dad by throwing him through the side of that building. Dad? Oh! We have betrayal by a friend because, Breathless was supposed to be, Dick Tracy's friend or whatever. We had a villain monologue. We have hero kills, a sexual innuendo, and misogyny.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Tracy is very 90s macho dude in this movie, or I guess
30s macho.
Yeah, I was gonna say 30s macho Chicago dude, but at the same time, the level of like toxic masculinity in this is very 90s, because like the 30s, it was all about androgyny and like not a lot of toxic masculinity existed. That didn't come until like the 50s, when the Southern churches took over the politics. So, but I still liked it. I still thought it was very good.
Spawn Cape?
Yeah, how good did you think it was with the Spawn Cape?
Listen, this was almost all practical effects.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't, they hit it really well for 1990.
Yeah.
That being said, I mean, again, the sets are gorgeous. The only thing I didn't like practical wise was the Blank's face. Like, that looked raw. I mean, that was like the worst prosthetic of them all, and it's because it's supposed to be a mask, not actually their face, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But like the costumes are great, the sets are great, practical effects are great, the explosions were dope, machine guns just doing all the things that they need to do and looking rad while they do it.
Yep.
I'm gonna be honest. I think this is like a 10 out of 10 on the Spawn Cape. Like, I think it holds up.
That's the first.
I think you
it
can
totally holds up.
Yeah, you can like look at this and go, this doesn't even feel like a product of its time.
No, it doesn't. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful.
I think the only
that they're trying to capture, it is a timeless feel.
The only time that I saw that looked wonky at all was at the end when Tess is like leaning against the railing and Dick Tracy comes out of the after everything is dead, everybody's dead, and like she turns around and like the backdrop is the ship going by in the water. Like there's some like you could definitely tell it's
some like weird green screen
or whatever.
Yeah.
But other than that, the rest of the movie was pretty damn good. Like at the very end, when they hop in the car and they go driving away and they do pan out.
Yeah,
and that's a painting, but it looks good.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah,
and I think what helps this a lot is like it is all practical effect. It's all set design. Mm-hmm. They're not using real elements from like the 90s era that would then date it, because everything is like made for this movie to be set in this time.
Yeah,
which I don't feel like we had with what was the one we watched? Oh, Road to Perdition. Like did, like that feels like we were watching a movie that was supposed to be a movie that was made in like the whenever it came out, but trying to be set in the time. And this just feels like it's a capsule in its own moment. I think they did a phenomenal job.
Awesome.
Well,
take that to your score then. What do you get?
Wait. First off, I have a technical boob count. I counted the boobs as 1.75 because we definitely get to see the full boob, but they are definitely covered. Okay. Therefore, it's not 2 full breasts, but I mean, it was close enough.
Yeah.
Good for her. Didn't she release an artistic coffee table book where she was nude through most of it?
It's called Playboy.
Was it Playboy? But she does it with like Vanilla Ice.
Oh, I don't know. I just know Madonna was in Playboy.
Was she?
Yeah.
Is it worth looking up?
It wasn't bad. Like, cause I'm not really attracted to Madonna, but like,
there's also that movie Brown Bunny that she was in. That's like notoriously not a good movie, but I think she has a sex scene in that maybe or something. I don't remember. She was dating the director or something like that. So he casted her.
Not Warren Beatty. Ha
ha. Got him.
He said no.
Got him.
But anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So is this a Dick Tracy movie? It feels like a Dick Tracy movie.
It feels like Dick to Chuck.
Yeah. My expectations were crazy low. And they were far exceeded. This is probably I would watch this again. I would show this to people and be like, yo, you actually might like this movie. Let's watch it. 8.2.
Nice.
Like I was shockingly, I paid attention. Like this was a solid movie. I think it might be one of my favorite ones we've watched of the series. And it's definitely my favorite one that we've watched that I've never actually seen.
Awesome. Ron?
Okay, so I'm right there with Chuck. Like this movie was awesome. Like I love the feel of it. I love the realness of it, but also the like comicness of it. They did a good job of wrapping everything together into one package and making it like a solid movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it even had a really good storyline, like that they actually kept to throughout the story. Um, I think the acting in it was great. Like there were characters in there that made me fucking laugh. There were characters in there that made me cringe. You know, um, and I will give Madonna some credit. She did have some nice boobs back then. I gave it an 8.5.
Not bad, not bad.
Joey?
Yeah, no, I'm kind of right there with both of you. This movie was amazing. It's been years, decades since I've seen it, so I also went into it with middle to low expectations. And like I said, I watched it and was barely taking notes. I enjoyed it from start to finish. The story, yeah, you're right. The story was there. There was a couple of parts where I'm like, well, they didn't need this scene. Like the one scene where the DA, Dick Van Dyke, is like telling Dick Tracy, "Oh, I'm not gonna prosecute Big Boy," but that could have been a phone call,
Yeah.
or like a letter. But like, so there was a couple scenes that I was just like, didn't really need it, but here we are. Um, but no, like I had a fun time the entire time. Um, but I'm right up there with both you guys. 8.1 is what I gave it. And so that gives us a combined score of 8.27. If I can write my numbers right. I guess I should also say, I forgot to mention this during the thing, that there's like 21 characters from the Dick Tracy novels, like 21 villains, I guess you could say, in this movie. And Warren Beatty specifically did that because he wasn't sure if they were going to be getting a sequel. And I'm
Nice.
honestly surprised that they didn't get a sequel. Now, keep in mind that they killed off 21 of his characters, but yeah, like it's
Yeah, you can kind of tell. I mean, hearing more of this, it seems like Warren Beatty was a Dick Tracy fan and like really wanted to
I
do
think
this
so.
movie justice.
It really does
Yeah.
sound like Warren loved
Yeah.
Dick.
And he seems like a man who would maybe covertly love a lot of Dick. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So with that combined score, like I said, 8.27, this breaks our top 10. It even breaks our top 5.
Wow.
This is our new number 3, just behind Superman with a 8.5, and just above V for Vendetta at a 8.16.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I mean, are we talking like the first like Christopher Reeves Superman movie?
1978. Yep.
I've never actually seen that, but I feel like this is an appropriate spot. I like this just as much as I liked V for Vendetta. Actually, I think I liked it more than V for Vendetta, but looking back at it, I definitely am going to be excited to kind of watch more like comic book movies as we go that draw influence from this movie, because I think maybe that this movie influences a lot more stuff than we think. Just like the way it's shot, the way like Dick Tracy is, like Dick Tracy gave me a lot of like Marv vibes, or I guess vice versa, like from Sin City.
It's
Oh,
the
gotcha.
jacket. I
The
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and like Hardigan, you know what I mean? Like from that movie, like I like maybe like Zack Snyder took a lot of influence from this movie to make City or something. I don't know, or maybe Frank Miller was just like a big, because like I know Dwight
Frank
kind of
Miller
has like,
probably liked a lot of Dick too.
Also,
he
Zack
seems like
Snyder
a man who would also covertly love a lot of Dick.
Zack
Probably read
Snyder
a lot.
didn't do Sin City. That was Robert Rodriguez, I believe.
Was it really?
I think so.
I thought he was an executive producer, but I thought Zack Snyder originally directed it.
I don't know.
Hold on, let me check. I'm
Because
pretty sure he did.
if that's the case, I mean, either way, I'm more excited about that, because that means that there's a Zack Snyder movie still in yet that I thought I liked Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
So
director is Frank Miller and Robert Rodriguez.
why did I think What did I
Because
think
it's
he
got
did
the
something-
noir. It's got like the it's the same like time frame. Because I want to say like 300 and
Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's
and
why.
was it 300 and Sucker Punch is around this time?
He did Sucker
Yeah.
Punch.
He did Sucker Punch, yeah.
Oh, I hate Sucker Punch. That makes a lot more sense now. Okay. Makes a lot more sense.
Anyway,
Anywho,
Are we watching Sucker Punch? No, that's like based off a comic.
I might have to now. Might have to make you. I've never actually. Funny enough, I've never actually seen Sucker Punch.
I've only ever seen it once, and it was on like it was the TV edit version of it. So
Oh
I'm
well,
sure
there you
it's
go.
like
There's
that.
a problem.
Yeah.
They cut out
Yeah.
a lot of shit, probably.
Yeah.
So,
real quick, I just really quick because it just popped into my brain. I just saw a trailer for Boy Kills World, which looks
I want to
phenomenal.
see that.
that
Bill-
looks pretty awesome.
Bill how do you say his last name? Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
As of course going to be in The Crow. He's the new Crow.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually really kind of hyped for that. It looks, in my opinion, I think it looks good, and I think Crow fans need to shut the fuck up. But if they were going to redo Dick Tracy like The Crow and make it like kind of like even more weird, I think it would work. But who would you cast as Dick Tracy then?
And that's the thing. They would not, if they redo Dick Tracy, it's not going to be the satire that it was in 1990. Like you're right. They would like edge it up just a little bit,
Yeah,
and make it more grim. I think. Who would I cast as Dick Tracy? The funny thing is, Warren Beatty looks like he looks like Dick Tracy. Like he had that
really
look, and especially from what I know from the comics. So I don't know who they could do.
like old grizzled vet looking dude. I mean, actually, I would cast the body of Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I would dub in somebody else's voice the whole time. I just maybe who's
Maybe
the
get
guy that
Warren
does
Beatty.
Rusty? Who's the guy who does Rusty and Joyride?
Rusty and what?
The guy who plays Rusty Nail. You ever seen the movie Joyride?
It's been a long time.
Like Steve Zahn and the guy from Fast and Furious that died.
Paul Walker, yeah.
Paul Walker, the guy who does the voice
Candy
of Candy Cane, not Rusty Nail.
Candy
Candy
Cane.
Cane.
Yeah.
No, his name was Rusty Nail.
Oh yeah,
They were
'cause
pretending to be
they
Candy
were
Cane.
being Candy Cane. That's
Yeah.
right. Honestly, I don't know. God, I haven't thought about that movie in forever.
Yo, I love that movie. That movie is the best. Anyway, Ron, do you have anybody?
I'm thinking because nobody pops to mind right away. Because it's got to be somebody with like the firm jawline, but they've also got to be older. Like I feel like they need to be in their like early 40s maybe.
Yeah.
And it's got to be somebody that's got like that, like rigid build. Like I don't know.
Tom Holland. No, just kidding. Not Tom Holland.
He's too. I mean, he's too young.
Who's the dude that plays Venom?
Tom Hardy.
Oh, there you go.
Hardy would be good.
Hardy would be a good one.
That one movie where he was two gangsters, like the brother gangsters.
Yeah, I kind of don't hate that as an idea.
You might not be a bad one.
I kind of when you said that, not Paul Walker. Fuck, what's his name?
Steve Zahn?
No. Paul Rudd?
No. Mark Wahlberg. I knew there was a walk in there somewhere. Mark Wahlberg.
He wouldn't be terrible, but I also don't.
I don't want a fucking Dick Tracy with a Boston accent, all right?
Yeah. Mark Wahlberg brings.
I think if he played
Mark
it,
Wahlberg.
yeah, he's gotten a little too memey of himself at this point.
Yeah,
but like if we had gotten like a little more serious, like brothers version of him, and they toned down the Boston accent, I actually think it would actually be really good.
Can they tone down the Boston accent, or is that just the only way he talks?
No, they can because he doesn't. He's done movies where he doesn't have that shitty accent. So. Fuck you, Boston. Anyway, I'm from New York. You got hate Boston.
Anyway, so that being said, Chuck, where can they find you online?
You can find me first and foremost right here and support. And if you wanted to support this of me being here, head over to patreon.com/professionalcasual. Hit that 301 tier. All that money directly goes to us, so Joey can get paid for the amount of work that he puts into this show, and he can get a new computer because he needs a new computer.
Eventually, I'll get one.
But you can find me over on Instagram, TikTok, Kicked Out of the Hood, Ian Kicked. You can find my hobby page on Instagram, Kicked Out of the Hobby, and you can find my kitchen any day now. Any day now, I'm going to drop so many videos on you guys. Oh my god, Kicked Out of the Kitchen, no way, Kicked Over on TikTok.
I was listening to an older episode where you were talking about your New Year's resolution was going to be you're going to be dropping so many.
The year isn't over yet.
Yo, no, legit, I haven't opened, I haven't gone to that account in a while. There's got to be at least 20, if not 30 videos that I've sent from my main account to that one of, videos I need to review. So, they're all just sitting there getting ready to do it. I just don't want to do it. It's so exhausting. Anyway, but I'll still plug it because every once in a while I do for it. Is that everything? Yeah. Ron, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Good at This Game, and you can also find my art on Instagram at Good Art This Game. Joey?
You guys can find this show on Instagram and Threads at Comic Book Rundown. You can email us comicbookrundown@gmail.com. Rate and review us on your podcasting app of choice. If you do, we will read them on an upcoming episode. We've got merch over on Redbubble and TeePublic, and our song was done by Cam. Our next movie, animated movie, we're going to be watching Justice League: The New Frontier. And Chuck,
I just watched this recently.
Do you remember it?
It's on Max.
Yeah, it was.
They just took it off?
So this past week, they just took off 30 DC movies, majority of them being the animated stuff.
Because they knew we were going to be fucking watching them, those sons of bitches.
You should make us watch Kira instead, then.
What's Kira?
Yeah, that's an animated movie. And we just talked about it in the chat.
Oh, Akira.
Yeah. We
just Akira.
Oh, no, Akira. And because that'll give us another week to see if they put it somewhere else. I noticed that trend too. Have you noticed the trend? About 2 after the episode comes out, it pops up somewhere on a different streaming service.
So let's see. I already have it all kind of written down. Let me check something real quick.
I could rent it on Amazon though. I think it's still on Amazon.
You can. If it's not on Amazon, on YouTube.
What are we renting?
That's actually how I watched. That's how I watched Dick Tracy. I watched it on YouTube.
Yeah, it wasn't on Amazon.
Yeah, I watched it on YouTube also.
Yeah. So yeah, no, we'll stick with A New Frontier right now. Justice League: A New Frontier. I'll add Akira in at some point. Maybe
I feel like if we're gonna do one manga that became a movie, I feel like Akira is the one to do, right? That's the end all be all.
Well,
I don't know. I've never seen it.
And it's been years since I've seen it. Like I said in the chat, I'm not against doing anime movies because they're technically comic books.
Yeah, but I feel like
so many.
Right, there's so many of them, and I if any weeb has taught me anything, there is a big difference between manga and comic books. Blah 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 blah. So if we're not going to watch miniseries that get slammed into 2-hour movies, fine. Then I don't think we need to cover manga. But I think Kira is the one exception because that transcends. When people say what's the best manga to anime movie ever made, it's always Akira at the top of the list. That thing was big. Yeah, it was the biggest thing to ever happen. So,
and I will point out, as much as we didn't talk about the 2D series, we talked about 2D series the entire time. I'm just saying.
Yeah, because we forced you to, because we took it personal.
Yeah, I might have prepared for that. I did
it, but it's not on the. But it's not on the list. Even though we graded it, it's still not on the list.
It's not. Yeah, it's not on the full list. I just have it written down as whatever we rated it for. Whatever. So that's it. Right, bye, y'all.
Goodbye. Bye.